The chairperson of the European Parliament's Development Committee, Barry Andrews, states that the European Union is committed to supporting Tanzania in its Development Vision 2050 across various sectors, including energy, transportation, and agriculture. In an exclusive interview with my colleague Feldged, Andrews also praises the evolving partnership between the European Union and Tanzania. He notes that over the years, the relationship has shifted from a donor recipient model to a fully fledged partnership.
Tanzania has set ambitious targets in its Development Vision 2050 in areas such as infrastructure, energy, and education. How can the EU support Tanzania Development Vision to achieve its targets?
Well, we met the Minister for Planning this morning, and he has an incredibly far-seeing vision, and it's called Vision 2050. And of course, Tanzania wants to become a middle-income country by 2050 and an upper-middle-income country by 2050. So this is a great ambition. And as I said, I was here 20 years ago. I can already see a massive transformation since the early 2000s to where we are today in 2025. So another 25 years. You can really see how it will evolve at that time. But the European Union's role, I think, is very much to invest in the areas that we see as priorities where we can add some value, particularly energy, transportation, the agri-food industry. These are places where we have expertise, we have knowledge to share with Tanzania. And of course, Tanzania has a huge amount of resources that are useful for what Europe is trying to do, its own green transformation, its own digital transformation. But I think the message we've got very clearly from the people that we've met, the ministers that we've met, is that there needs to be a huge amount of local ownership and value added here in Tanzania. It's not just a case of extracting primary resources here in Tanzania for use elsewhere. It is about adding value, about the manufacturing industry expanding here. So that message has been received very loud and clear.
How do you view the evolving partnership between EU and Tanzania, and what role can the European Parliament play to strengthen this partnership?
Well, I was here 20 years ago, and it was a very different relationship. At that time, the European Union had a department for development, but now it's called international partnerships. So it has changed from that donor recipient model to one of partnership. Having said that, there are still major requirements for human development in a lot of our partner countries, and we've met with ministers here who've said they really value European development cooperation interventions. And we help in the area of health, of education, and gender equality. And so there is both the new idea of investment partnership and the traditional approach of development cooperation to ensure that there is sustainable development here in Tanzania. So really, I suppose the next decade will be about trying to make those two things work together to be mutually beneficial.
What are your future long-term hopes for EU cooperation with Tanzania?
Tanzania is a great example of evolution that has happened in recent times, the move towards a middle-income country. And it therefore is sort of a good test case for the development cooperation, which needs to continue, but also this idea of investment and aligning the mutual interests of the two, of Tanzania and the European Union. So I think in the future, clearly Tanzania is going to be standing on its own 2 feet in every aspect of its life and will be self-reliant and independent. But we'd like to be assistance in that journey, and part of the way we see our responsibilities in the European Union is global solidarity around the area of development. No matter where people are in the world, they have the same rights, but we have a very unequal world, and we have to design programs that are consistent with our ambitions in that area. So I think in the future, I'm not sure if I'll be around for Vision 2050, but I really hope that with our help, Tanzania will achieve its ambitions.
That's my colleague Feldged talking to the chairperson of the European Parliament's Development Committee.